happy to introduce our next speaker to you, Dr. Kenji Tanaka. Professor Tanaka is a project associate professor of the Organization for Interdisciplinary Research Project, Department of System Innovation at the University of Tokyo. Professor Tanaka obtained his BE in Naval Architecture and his ME in Information Engineering and his PhD in Systems Innovation from the University of Tokyo. His research interests include energy storage systems, system design, battery life evaluation, and demand forecasting. Professor Tanaka started his career in McKinsey as management consultant, and in year 2012, he was a member of the National Policy Advisory Body to the Ministry of Land, Transportation, and Tourism. And in that capacity, he was engaged in the planning with policy strategies for the future energy efficient society for the Japanese government. Without further ado, please join me to welcome Professor Tanaka for giving the speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ma. I'm Kenji Tanaka from University of Tokyo. So today I'd like to introduce some trials in Japan and experiences from the demonstration test in Japan. So as you may know, there are so many demonstration projects regarding with smart grid in Japan. So because there are so many technological companies, but this is very good opportunity even for me and other Japanese people, because this conference is about interdisciplinary research. That is very necessary approach for us. So technical demonstration, mostly it's successfully ended. But at the end, we found that most of the customers are not interested in electricity or power. So we found that the portion of the total amount of household account is very small. So that is partly why it's a good opportunity for me to join this conference. So let us start my presentation. So I will talk about the electrical vehicle rent-a-car project in Okinawa, Southern Island in Japan. So nowadays there are many topics about vehicle-to-grid related projects. So when I joined a conference in Europe, so the main topic was about the electrical vehicle as energy storage. So this is I think it's a good, how do I say, experience, in terms of data. So I will introduce about this project. Before that, as you may know, so more and more renewable energy will be introduced in the world. That's true. Even though in Japan, so I'm not sure if Japan re-operate nuclear or not, but we decided to promote renewable energy to introduce it. So, and Dr. Peven from Italy pointed that in Europe, so solar photovoltaic panel reached the grid parity. So solar power is now the cheapest energy in Europe, according to Dr. Peven. So it's a strong tendency to promote renewable energy. But I'm not sure if it is true or not, but it's a, so there are so many countries who try to introduce more and more renewable energies. But renewable energy has problems, as you may know. So it depends on climate or nature. So this is the 3 days trend of the renewable energy produced and the power demand happened. So during the daytime, So solar power produces the energy, but renewable energy does not always produce power when it is needed. So this house needs power at the nighttime, but solar power does not create any electricity at that time. And there is another problem about it. So as Professor Abe mentioned about it, so existing power grid is not flexible enough to accept renewable energies. So for example, this is one example of solar power produced one day in Tokyo. So it says that within 2 or 3 minutes, total power of the solar panel reduced by 70%. So it's not stable enough to maintain power grid. So that is why the energy storage is necessary. So this is the kind of our approach of storage to storage energies. So utilizing energy storage, we can utilize renewable energy as much as possible. If we think about the energy storage, the technology has been dramatically changed within these 20 years. This is a trend of battery advancement. So for almost over 100 years, the battery trends advances very slowly. But after the lithium-ion battery invented, the technology has been advanced very much. So we think it is very much important. It has very much importance to utilizing renewable energies. And at the same time, as mobile phone or mobile devices introduced into society, the price has been dramatically reduced to 130 times as before. So they are they are gradually being cheaper and cheaper. So nowadays, it's a time to introduce renewable energy as much as we want with energy storages, for example, batteries. So our project objective is establish the next generation power network for efficient social system, not only pursuing the element efficiency, but also improving the total energy efficiency cities as a social system. So let's think about the hybrid cars. So gas generation, car has gas engine, and hybrid motor has battery too. And so total drive range has been doubled with batteries. If we think about this analogy to the cities, so city have power production, and so if we think about introducing energy storages into cities, so cities can be more and more efficient enough with batteries or energy storages. And so this is one example of introducing energy storages into society. So this is a Green Island project in Okinawa. So Okinawa Green Island project, so there are about 60 million tourists fascinated by its natural beauty in Okinawa. This project considered to strengthen the green image of Okinawa and attract their tourists. The Green Island project of Okinawa aimed to build a sustainable and ecology-friendly society with secondary batteries. The Chamber of Commerce in Naha City decided to promote it. As a first stage of project, the plan to introduce EVs as a rent-a-car is organized. So this is the history of this project. 2009 in spring, electric vehicle car rental service concept offering by University of Tokyo. And after our proposal, the Chamber of Commerce in Naha, Okinawa City decided to promote it. And next year, spring, they established electrical vehicle infrastructure service company in Okinawa, and then started to build the charging infrastructure by the company built in 2010. And so they started to, they launched their rent-a-car service in 2011 spring. That was very bad timing for them because just after 2 weeks, they're beginning their service. So there was a big earthquake in the East Japan area. And then so they tried to promote East Tokyo people to use those rent-a-car service. But most Japanese people did not want to go resort area at that time. But that was the, we started the service at 2011. And this is a total view of the Okinawa Green Island. So electrical vehicle was the first phase to install secondary battery as a rent-a-car. So, and the phase 2, sorry. After using rent-a-car, their battery can be used for a stationary use because the battery can use longer than the car is. And so now, at present, we are conducting a phase 2. And then at last, we are trying to supergrid, establish a supergrid. So supergrid means each battery connects to the grid and remotely controlled by some purposes to stabilize power grid or to accept renewable energy as much as we can, that kind of. So we are now trying to apply our batteries to the supergrid. And this is the one analysis of the project. So the problems for the electrical vehicle rent-a-car was the how to provide the infrastructure charging point. So the figure on your right hand is about the arrangement of gas station in Okinawa area. So which is totally different from electrical vehicles infrastructures, because most electrical vehicles can charge their battery, sorry, at the home parking. So that is why we try to stimulate the driver's activity and find that 24 sites, and this is the result of our arrangement plan based on the simulation from the University of Tokyo, and Okinawa company built their infrastructure very similar to our plan. So 27 units at 18 sites. So this is the picture of the Okinawa. 220 units of electrical vehicle installed as a rent-a-car service. And then, so we conducted a 5-year demonstration, and now most of them are now in secondary use in Okinawa, but still used as electrical vehicle. So at the demonstration, so we obtained many data, various data. For example, electrical vehicle drive data and battery performance data, which is very much important to second use project. And charging data also, and so many data is collected at the demonstration site. So there are mainly three problems about installing electrical vehicles. The most biggest things was the drivers don't want to care about the charging. So this is the main mode of the driving. So when we drive in a city and in a congestion road, so the energy is much consumed than usual. And when we drive highway, electrical vehicle consume energy so fast. So we have to think about the drive range based on those drivers' activities. So this is one of the results of the calculation of drive mode. If you drive at the rural area or mode without air conditioning, so the electrical vehicle can drive more than the car manufacturer says. So this is one example. If the car manufacturer said that 160 kilometers per charging, if we drive in a rural area, so the we can drive electric vehicle more than 200 kilometers. But if we drive in a hot summer and in congestion mode, so we cannot drive more than 100 kilometers. So those kind of driving mode is very important for them to encourage them to use electrical vehicle. That is why we provide another services. So it's a kind of Google Navigator. So if you enter the destination and the time of the starting, so we provide the charging plan for electric drivers. And in another issue, so with these services, so electrical vehicle driver loosen their tension about carrying charging, so they can easily get to the charging point without running out of energy. And another thing was the battery performance change. So I think your mobile phone has battery, and within 3 years, your battery performance easily changed. So lithium-ion battery is a kind of, how do I say, not solid type of performance. They change their performance regarding with the environment. If you keep your battery with full charged 100% and put in the hot air, let's say more than 40 degrees, it gets easily worse. So we collected battery performance data more than 3 years, and not only Okinawa area, but also Japan mainland area. More than 400 electrical vehicles are checked at each 1 second. And with analyzing those battery performance change, we got some models to simulate the changing of battery performance. And we are now conducting a reuse project of the electrical vehicle batteries, but for the stationary use. This is a picture at the Okinawa city. So there are 6 battery units. Those 3 units has a reuse type of battery, and those 3 units has a brand new type of batteries. So they are demonstrating how the battery perform for the stationary use. At this moment, there is no problems except natural change of battery performance. So natural change means within certain degree of deterioration. And the last one is the, we are trying to use electrical vehicle batteries for the grid use. So, if you think about the vehicle to grid, the main objective of electrical vehicle is driving. So we cannot bother drivers from driving when we use electrical vehicle as a vehicle to grid storage. So we found the opportunity of the vehicle to grid. So throughout a day, so this is the result of 3 years result, and throughout the day, so almost 70% of electrical vehicle is parked. So that means almost 70% of electrical vehicle battery storage can be accessible to the grid when they are connected to the grid. So those experiences applying to the designing of microgrid of Japanese areas. This is example of Okinawa Island. And so we are trying to applying those experiences to the another areas. For example, this is the airport, Kansai Airport. So they are pursuing the strengths in their resilience against disaster by incorporating renewable energies. We are providing some simulation result for them, comes from the Okinawa Island. But those, what we are trying is trying to pursue the, trying to solve the social systems innovations. So we are on the level 1, installing hardware instruction phase, just installing hardware. But next one would be network phase. Passive data as monitoring service will be done. And after that, so variable service with big data. Active business service with big data analysis will be done via information technologies. So this is one example of services. So cloud battery services. So if we think about the battery, we don't want to physical batteries. We want to storage energies. So according to that concept, so some Japanese company launched their services. So they are pursuing cloud battery services. That kind of service is inevitable to promote those kind of renewable energy projects, not pursuing technological side, but also incorporating public interest or public supporting. And this is the this is the organization what I belong. So same as Professor Abe. So University of Tokyo are willing to support those movement to change the existing grid technologies with digital grid. So this is our next step to promote those kind of technologies for incorporating renewable energies as much as we can. So I'm sorry, I might talk a little bit confusing things, but this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Tanaka, for giving us this presentation, which brought to us a very interesting demonstration project in Okinawa Island that shows us in the deployment process how we develop solutions, find out ways to overcome some of the barriers with some very collection of very important data from demonstration project, which is a very important bit of smart grid development.